We are back again to totally hand it to this dipstick, President Dipstick that is, of Team Go Rocket, Giovanni. He's got, of course, his new Shadow Lugia lineup. This may not obviously apply to all of you, but there were several of you that were commenting on my first video that we did. So if you are new, of course, there is another video that can give you some other options for taking on Giovanni, but essentially saying that it was pretty difficult for you, and so this is going to change things. Ladies and gentlemen, my account is level 46. The Team Go Rocket Pokemon will scale up their CPs, i.e. they'll be higher the higher your level is. So if you are below level 46, you're going to be facing Pokemon with lower CPs. Now I am purposely keeping mine below 1500. So the point here is that you can be using the same Pokemon that I am, but make your CP higher, and especially if you're below 46, again, you will be facing something that's lower than mine. The point being you can win. Now you always have to remember typings. You know, this is something that it's tough because when people are like, I used your same lineup and I didn't win. Well, you didn't tell me what you were going up against. For instance, a Persian with Feint Attack right now is going to get owned up by pretty much any of your fighting types for the most part. There are some fighting types in this game that are just absolute garbage, so we don't want to make this like a total blanket statement gospel. But ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see is this Poliwrath right here within the Great Leagues, and it is below 1500. It's not even like at 1500 or anything like that. It does have Power Up Punch and Ice Punch, so that is going to be key. But this Poliwrath is essentially going to solo this whole thing. If you had a Poliwrath probably at like 2500 or as close to 3000 as it can get, I'm pretty sure it would solo the whole thing if you go up against this specific lineup. So like we were just saying, if that Persian had Scratch, this would have gone very differently. Again, you gotta pay attention to those typings, you know? If you want to be like some people in the past, they have come at me because of what I show, but I always make sure to mention this. It's always about what moveset your Pokemon are using, as well as what Pokemon and movesets the Team Go Rocket leaders are using. So in this case, for instance, he's got Nidoking right here, and it's going to be using Iron Tail. We would resist that, but obviously one Iron Tail would kill us right now. You can see our Poliwrath is on like 0 health, but notice how much we're already taking this down just using these Ice Punches. Power Up Punch takes a little bit less energy than Ice Punch, so that's why we're going to go with it right now. We also don't want to KO the Nidoking if I can. I might have accidentally done it. Okay, no, this is good. The reason we don't want to kill it right there is because we can actually generate energy before Giovanni's going to send in the Lugia. So if you didn't know, every single time you use a charge attack or they use a charge attack, or whenever a Pokemon is switched in, that could be from manually switching out or from a Pokemon fainting, the Team Go Rocket side is going to stand still for about 2 to 3 seconds, and this is valuable time that you just want to be generating energy, so don't use your charge attacks even if you have them yet. Wait for that 2 or 3 seconds before they're going to attack. Once you get used to it, you can time it pretty much exact like I'm doing right here. Just before that Lugia's move would hit me, I've already got my charge move off, and it's using extra sensory, so again, we can actually get in attacks before that extra sensory is going to hit us. So my Poliwrath is using Mud Shot, which is not very effective right now against the Lugia. It was actually super effective against the Nidoking, just neutral for the Persian, but the main thing about Mud Shot is that it generates energy so much faster than its other fast attacks, and it can hit pretty quickly, so you're generating energy pretty fast. That's the point. So what you're going to see here is we will not actually be able to output enough. Like, we're just barely going to lose our Poliwrath right now. It still can get off these Ice Punches, which are super effective. So once again, I should reiterate, especially if you are a lower level than me, you may actually be able to complete this with a Great League Poliwrath CP amount. But if you're at the same level or higher than me, just put it up to, you know, Ultra Leagues, something higher. And as long as it's got Power Up Punch and Ice Punch, and once again, I should reiterate, just because someone out there, people will hate on me if they don't know type resistances and strengths. It's got to be this moveset. It's got to be these Pokemon. Now, for instance, if Giovanni sends out a Rhyperior, your Poliwrath is actually going to resist a Rhyperior with Smackdown. It's still going to do a lot of damage, but Rhyperior is also going to be weak to the Ice Punch and the Power Up Punch, so Poliwrath could still work against the Rhyperior in general, but not so much Rhyperior with Mud Slap. And so I'll have another Giovanni video for focusing on Rhyperior and whatnot, but just in case this needs to be reiterated, Poliwrath going to do great against Feint Attack Persian, Iron Tail Nidoking, and the Lugia kind of doesn't matter. Extra Sensory and Dragon Tail both take the same amount of time, I believe. But you guys saw it almost soloed the whole thing right here. Feel free to click an end screen on screen to see another video, and thanks for viewing.